Alright, welcome back to Game Smash. As always, I'm your host, William Liberty, and with me is...
Fawaz Muhammad Yusuf.
And today we'll be covering Lion Gates investing in Telltale, Fable Legends, some new PSN Spring Fever, PlayStation Plus games, keeping the Vita alive, Street Fighter, Street Fighter 5, Charlie being revealed, and some MKX news to wrap things up. But first, let's talk about what we played. So, Fawaz. I want you to guess. It's very hard. I tend to switch games from time to time. What game do you think I played this week?
Could it be Monster Hunter Ultimate?
Close. It was Call of Duty Advanced Warfighter. No. It was Monster Hunter 4. It was Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. But yeah, I just played some more of that, and not much. Still an awesome game. Another thing I will note about it that's kind of weird is this is the first Monster Hunter game to have a mission where you actually have to protect other NPCs.
Oh my god.
Which seems really weird because it's like this seems like a normal kind of thing, right? In RPGs, protect the town or protect another character or something like that. So I found it really weird that in this Monster Hunter game that I've been playing for 5 to 6 years, that this is the first time they've ever actually put another actual character model other than you in the game.
Yeah.
It was kind of weird. But yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah...
Sorry.
No, but yeah, it was basically just Monster Hunter all week. But yeah, I'll pass to you. What you been playing?
Well, I actually, because right now I'm just waiting until March 10th, so I'm just biding my time. So I've been playing Jak and Daxter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? I bought the trilogy on PSN, and I platinumed the first one actually.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it twice. It wasn't a platinum technically, but on the PS2, I 100%ed the game twice. So,
yeah.
So it was just going through the motions, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. The boss battles kind of sucked, but
yeah, those boss battles are kind of hard. I remember them being pretty hard.
Oh no, they weren't hard. They were just boring.
Yeah. Well, this is the weird thing with me for the Jak and Daxter trilogy is I know it's weird, but out of all of them, I played Jak 2 the most. I played Jak 2 I think I beat it 3 times, and I beat Jak 3 twice, and then I beat Jak and Daxter once. For whatever reason. I think it had to do with the fact that me being a young teenager and then just getting all this really crazy, PG-13 material in Jak 2 was really awesome. So, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's actually something I was going to get to, was that I finished, I platinumed Jak 1, I started playing Jak 2, and I don't like it.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It's
It's
very different.
at all. Yeah, exactly. It was so different, and the funny thing is that back when the game was originally announced, I was excited for Jak 2, but I never got the chance to play it because around that time, long story short, I never got the chance to play it. But I was excited for it. But I guess all these years later, and all these Grand Theft Auto clones later, Jak 1 feels more like a breath of fresh air, while Jak 2 feels like more of the same of what I've been dealing with for the past couple years. I'm gonna try and finish it because I paid for it, but
I can understand that
I'm going to Jak 3.
Yeah. I can understand that where it's the Jak, there is that kind of GTA aspect to Jak 2, but for whatever reason, like I said, it's a weird game for me because that was I played it around the time where this was like the first rated T game that I ever played. So I was used to playing games that had less mature content. So it was quite the experience for me to have the characters swearing every one, now and then also the fact that there's I don't know, for some reason I remember the jokes more in Jak 2 than I do in Jak and Daxter. Like I don't know.
Okay.
But that has to do with my sense of humor. Like everyone's humor is different, but for whatever reason I found Jak 2 to be a lot funnier. So I don't know. But that might be but bear in mind that might be nostalgia goggles. So because I played it as a kid. So but yeah, no, that's awesome you revisiting that game cuz it's overall like I still think they're all 3 games are all really cool. To say the least.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All right. But I guess that's pretty much what you've been playing?
Pretty much, yeah.
All right, well, let's dive into
yeah.
Oh, I know. There you go. We were waiting. So let's dive into some news. This is going to start turning into like, oh, what have you been playing, Tanner? Monster Hunter 4, and then yours is going to be Hearthstone. It's like, God. All right. News. Lion Gates invests in Telltale. So Lion Gates is a movie production house, and apparently they're supposedly kind of partnering up with Telltale Games. So what do you think about this, Fawaz? Because I have some interesting points. But you go first.
Yeah, I can imagine you have a lot to say about this, but I'm just gonna keep it short because you know me, I'm not a big fan of Telltale Games. So my first impression was I don't really care, but I do think this is good for the people who do enjoy those type of games. I think this is good. Mm-hmm. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to affect Telltale Games. I don't know if now they won't be allowed to work on things that aren't owned by Lionsgate. Probably not. I can't imagine Telltale Games would sign off on something like that. So
yeah, that would be kind of.
It probably just means that they're gonna.
That would be kind of weird.
It probably just means that they're gonna be getting more funding to do Lionsgate properties. So the first thing that comes to mind is the Hunger Games. Well, or are the Hunger Games?
That would be kind of interesting. A Hunger Games Telltale.
We're gonna have to look out for that in the near future. Yeah, but that's pretty much all I've got to say about that.
Well, I think it's kind of interesting because I wonder if that, like, obviously, because, if it's an investment, then that means there's money involved. Does that mean, like, I'm interested if that's going to mean, Telltale Games, are they going to start to look a little bit better? Maybe their engine will run a little bit better. They can fix some of the bugs that I keep on shouting at them to fix. Because it's like I'm fine with the stories. I think their stories are fine. There's just little engine things that that could obviously be improved, and of course a little more variety in gameplay doesn't hurt as well. But I don't think Lionsgate being like investing in Telltale is going to affect the gameplay of the games. I think it's going to just more affect the presentation. Hopefully. It may affect a couple other little things, but I just hope that this is good news and that it means Telltale's getting more money to make better, to put towards their presentation. I still think that they need to work on gameplay aspects. I feel like that's more of a priority, but let's take one step at a time. Let's fix the engine problems, because the fact that I've played 3 games with that same like juddering dialogue issue is just ridiculous. You had 3 games to fix this. But it is interesting because I can't think of many like movie companies like going out of their way to team up with a video game company. That's kind of weird. It's like uncommon.
That is very weird. Yeah, no, you're right. When I saw the headline, I had to make sure it was the same Lionsgate that I know and the same Telltale that I know, because I was like, this is a weird pairing. But hey, we'll see how this works out. And if it works out well, a bunch of other studios are gonna start investing in other video game companies. So hey, this might be a step in the right direction for the video game industry.
Yeah. So who knows? Who knows? It could be good, could be bad. Hoping that it's good.
Yeah.
But next on our list, Fable Legends. Fable Legends just got recently announced that it's going to be free to play, and we've seen some more gameplay of the game and how the general like design of the game is. So I know you being a huge Fable 2 fan, just the biggest Fable 2 fan. I'm very curious of your excitement for this game.
Where do I begin? Okay. Let me try and be neutral.
Neutral.
Here.
Yeah.
So Fable Legends, as a standalone game, it actually looks really good.
Hmm.
It's they're taking the kind of MOBA-ish. They're going in a MOBA-ish direction with the game. Apparently, they're gonna have a bunch of heroes, and they'll rotate. The heroes will rotate out. So you'll have like a set of heroes this week, and then next week a new bunch will rotate in.
Yeah.
You can buy them permanently with in-game gold or real money, which is how they make back the fact that the game is free to play. And the gameplay,
Exactly.
it looks cool and everything. I just like every time I see anything, I just think back to how much I loved the Lost Chapters.
Mm-hmm. Like Lost Chapters was great.
Yeah, and how far we've come from there, because I just don't care about this franchise anymore. I just don't like like I said, I respect them for what they're doing here. They're trying something different. But Fable was supposed to be that big RPG franchise for Microsoft, right?
Mm.
And they started off on the right foot. Fable 1 was lacking a bunch of stuff, and then Legends pushed them further in the right direction. And from Fable 2, they just completely forgot. They just lost the plots. So
Yeah.
sorry, I went on a bit of a digression there, but I actually really, really loved the Lost Chapters, which was why I hated Fable 2 so much. But Legends looks good for what it's trying to be. I just wish it was still an RPG.
Yeah. Like, I think the biggest thing that has a lot of Fable fans kind of ticked off is that, like, this game is no longer going to have, like, a narrative, because it's mostly just, co-oping with friends. And apparently it's just when you start a session, like, they're like a 30-minute sessions where it's like 4 people, and there's one other player that is kind of like the villain and controls the encounter.
Yeah.
So it seems like now it's like there's no big overarching story. And the other thing that somebody pointed out is that if you want to know about the characters that you're actually playing, you can't find the information in game. You actually can't find information. Yeah, you have to actually go to the website to learn about the characters you're playing. Now that I find is a little bit not great. But the one thing I will say, and it makes me sound really kind of nerdy, is that when you're playing as the villain, there's this kind of weird dungeon master kind of vibe to it, because you're kind of like, you're setting up, okay, I'm going to have, some goblins spawn in this corner, and then the troll is going to be faffing about over here. So I kind of like that, because it gives the villain, like, the ability is like, okay, they're probably expecting everyone to come from the front. I'm going to have, like, an entire goblin brigade spawn from the, like, this random spot in the map, so they get totally, like, surprised or something like that.
Yeah.
So if I kind of like that aspect to it, but it's kind of like what I completely agree with you. It's like, it's almost like a completely different thing. It's not a Fable game anymore. It's like, it takes everything that I liked about Fable: The Lost Chapters, and it's not there anymore. It's just something different. I mean, I don't think it's the worst, but it's just not Fable. I don't know.
Yeah, just to play devil's advocate, though, this might just be a spin-off, kind of like how Halo Wars was a spin-off of Halo, and there might actually be a Fable RPG in development down the line. But I mean, after Fable 2 and 3, I'm not even sure if I want that anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all I've got to say about Fable Legends.
Yeah, like, I feel like, it's going to be kind of interesting, and I do like the aspect of the cross-play stuff, like people playing it on computer, because we talked about this on a previous podcast, where it's like, I like the idea of, people who have the game on the PC and people who have it on a console. It's like, you don't have to both buy the same bloody version. You can have 2 different versions and still play with your friends. Like, I like that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Actually.
And but yeah, so I just hope that this game is, it's from what I've seen so far. Hopefully, if I do get a chance to play it, that it's better than I expect. But for now, who knows? But moving on along, this is your time to shine, Fawaz, because we have PlayStation Network Spring Fever. A buttload of games have been added to PlayStation Plus, some discounts, stuff like that. So do you want to go down the list so that the people know?
Okay. So on the 3rd of March, we're gonna get Helldivers, which is gonna be for the PlayStation ecosystem. The PlayStation ecosystem is PS4, PS3, PS Vita. So we're just gonna call it the ecosystem from now on. So Helldivers is coming out for the ecosystem on the 3rd, and it's cross-buy across all of them. Cross-buy, cross-play, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Same with Hotline. Well, Hotline Miami isn't cross-play because there's no multiplayer.
Yeah.
But Hotline Miami is coming out for the ecosystem the next week, and it's gonna be cross-buy as well. Jamestown Plus, it's a top-down shooter type game. I didn't look too much into it because I don't own a PS4. It's only coming out for the PS4. Yeah. But yeah, it's coming out the week after that. And then the week after that, Metal Slug 3 is coming out.
Yeah, good old Metal Slug.
I didn't even know it was development, but hey, that's cool. It's going to be PlayStation ecosystem cross-buy. Now, the 31st, this game Axiom Verge that I've been keeping an eye on for a little bit now. It's pretty much a Metroid. It's pretty much a PlayStation Metroid.
Yeah, very Metroid vibe. When I was watching the gameplay, I was kind of like, yeah, this looks very Metroid-esque.
Yeah, pretty much. Like the dude has said that he was Metroid. Yeah. So it's coming out for the PS4 on the 31st. It's also coming out for the Vita, but he said that Sony gave him the opportunity to release the game early or later with the Vita, and he was like, yo, I just want to get this out, man. I'm so excited right now. So it's coming out for the PS4 first, and it'll come out on the Vita a little bit later. Speaking of which, same for Bastion, which comes out on the 7th of April. Yeah, so I would have been excited for that, but it's not coming to the Vita yet. Now the last 2 are Titan Souls, which are PS4 and PS Vita cross-buy, and Shovel Knight, which is for the ecosystem, also cross-buy. So yeah, Sony are they're giving us a lot to play between March and April. Sure, it's all indie games, but you know me, I just like good video games. So I'm excited for Helldivers. I've been watching a bunch of gameplay of that. I'm never going to talk about Hotline Miami 2 anymore because I'm looking forward to Bastion, although I wish we had a Vita release date. I'm gonna give Shovel Knight a try, and Titan Souls is a funny one though.
Oh yeah? How so?
We spoke about it a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. So after we spoke about it, I went and I watched a little more gameplay of it, and I'm a lot less excited for the game now.
Oh yeah?
After watching the game. Yes. So it's one-shot deaths in the game, which doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that a lot of the bosses, at least I watched this dude kill like the first 5 or 6 bosses, and a lot of them, the fight could go on for 5 minutes, or the fight could end in 5 seconds. And in some cases, the fights ended in like 5 seconds. And I don't know. I didn't like it. It was.
Do you think? Did you think that the reason that these boss fights were so fast was because of the particular player's skill, or just because they were kind of designed to be slightly easier?
I think this is how the boss fights were designed. Some of the bosses die in one hit, right?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that the bosses are designed to make it difficult to get that one hit, but in some cases, the dude just, like now, for example, he would play this dude played this boss and he died for like 10 minutes. He was just dying, and then he finally went in and he killed it in like a few seconds. It was so anticlimactic, Like because the music starts playing and then the music stops immediately. It's just I didn't like it. I really didn't like it.
I love the fact that that can happen where it's like there's like a pre-scripted like just epic music that's supposed to start and it just gets so abruptly cut off because you've beaten it already.
Yeah, and I understand why it's like that. For some of there were some bosses, like the first boss that he played against, it was actually a relatively long battle, and so I'm guessing it's gonna switch up depending on the boss, and I hope there's gonna be more bosses like the first one
Mm-hmm.
than like the other ones that he fought. But most of the bosses that he fought were like, you die a lot trying to figure out what their weak spot is, and then in like a few seconds you kill them, and
Yeah.
I really didn't like that, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it could be like that. Like if those bosses are like some of the first bosses in the game, then I'm not too angry about that because it's the beginning of the game, right? Like if the last boss
Yeah.
in the game can be beaten that quickly, okay, that's a problem because it's like the last boss of a game should be relatively hard. Like it should be like a challenge because that's natural, game design where it's like obviously last boss has got to be the hardest. Like that's
Unless
usually
it's Fable 2.
unless it's yeah. Oh god, so many memories of Fable 2. Oh, I remember how that boss went where I like there was a funny moment. I'm just gonna spoil the ending of the game, but I don't care. But
The game
there,
sucked. Y'all
but
should play
there's
it.
a moment in that game where like the boss like you beat him and then he's talking to you and for whatever reason I didn't shoot him. I just kept on listening to him and then one of the
Yeah.
characters stands up and shoots him in the face and goes, "Why the fuck were you listening to him?" And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that. But yeah, that's enough Fable 2 for one day.
Yeah, I think we've had enough of Fable 2. But back to the other game. But yeah, so I guess I hope that maybe like hopefully we get to see some more bosses that are like actually super super hard. Like
Yeah.
but that because that's what I'm hoping for at the very least.
Mhm. Well, I mean,
Um
worst case scenario. Sorry, just one last thing. Worst case scenario, even if the game isn't good, I mean, I'm picking up Helldivers. I'm picking up Hotline Miami. I'll probably pick up Action Verge. I'm probably gonna pick up Bastion, and I'm probably gonna pick up Shovel Knight. So like, I've got a lot of stuff to play in these
Yeah,
coming
so like
days.
even if you blow through the Titan Souls like just immediately, then it's like, well, I've got like three other games to play, so
Exactly, exactly. So I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried.
yeah. All right, so moving on from that, we've got Street Fighter. Charlie or Nash got revealed, along with the announcement of a beta for Street Fighter Five. So, Fawaz, being the guy who knows his fighters, I'm gonna let you take this away.
Okay, so I went from not giving three shits because here's the thing: was that Charlie was announced a while ago in the original trailer for Street Fighter Five. At the very end, Charlie is teased, and when he was teased, I really did not care because Charlie historically has been a Guile clone,
Yeah.
right? He's exactly like Guile. Sonic Boom, Flash Kick, and then he has a few differences here and there, but in general, they are identical. It's like Ken and Ryu.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
so when they were like, "Oh, Charlie's gonna be in Street Fighter 5," I was like, honestly, I don't care. But then after seeing the gameplay video, they spruced him up. He looks he's like a completely different. I mean, he has teleports now. The
Yeah,
other
yeah.
guy
That
before,
was the coolest thing
yeah,
about it. It was like, oh, he's got teleports. That's pretty sick.
yeah. So story wise, it's you can't really tell. He's because Charlie's supposed to be dead. Here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Charlie's dead. Charlie dies in Street Fighter Alpha, and in Street Fighter 2, that's one of Guile's motivations to Bison kills Charlie.
Hmm.
So that's one of Guile's motivations. So Charlie's back, and he's either God knows how he got back, but he looks a lot more because Charlie is really like all American good guy stuff. But then you look at
I
this
like
trailer, and
I like the idea of Charlie fighting his way out of his own grave. Really like that idea. I really hope that the game makes it canon.
But yeah, if you look at this trailer, he's a lot more sinister now. I mean, he had this super that he used on Chun Li that just looked well sinister, and then
Yeah.
like his battle code was something along the lines of if you get in my way, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
So he's either under mind control or whatever brought him back pushed him over the edge. But yeah, that was definitely it. And the game itself, like Street Fighter Five as a whole, it looked really cool in that trailer. Sony also announced that if you pre-order,
yeah,
you you um you
you get part of the beta.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I'm like, really? Like, you're having trouble saying this? It's like one word.
I wasn't sure how to word it, okay? Give me a break.
That's amazing.
But yeah, if you pre-order, you qualify. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, there you go.
But the beta. So that's gonna be. I mean, we don't know much. We don't know anything else about it. We don't know if it's We don't know the release date or anything else. Pretty much how big the roster is gonna be. But that's definitely interesting. This is probably the first fighting game that's gonna have a beta before it's launched. So that's cool. But yeah, what did you think about?
I thought obviously seeing, I don't know that much about the deep lore of Street Fighter, but I thought even seeing Nash, I thought he looked pretty cool as a character. Especially, I liked his teleports. That was the one thing I really liked about him. But I'll also say I like the idea of them doing a beta because, like, this will allow them to change different aspects of the game before it officially releases. Like, you know how you were talking before that you thought Street Fighter V looked too slow. Well, if they do the beta and enough people say, like, maybe you should speed this up a bit, then, yeah, maybe you'll get a faster game.
This is true.
That way, or maybe there's some other little aspects that if people like can kind of point out little nitpicks, and that I feel like it's a collaborative process with the beta, and I like that because it helps crafts better games. Like I'll say this because like one of the betas I played a lot in was Guild Wars 2 because I played a lot of the Guild Wars 2 beta. And that was a really rich beta. They gave you like a quarter of the full game and just said go nuts and tell us like literally after every quest, tell us, is this shit? Is this good? How can it be improved? So I like the collaborative aspect of this because it kind of makes it kind of helps the developer reach out to the consumer in a better way. So I honestly I'm really glad with this announcement. I thought it was an awesome trailer, and I think a beta would be really really good for this. Well, that's my main thoughts about it. But if we're gonna continue with fighting game news, we got a lot of MK stuff. We got a new story trailer for MKX, and they announced some brutalities being in the game. So let's talk about the story trailer. Fawaz, I know nothing about Mortal Kombat lore either. So I was like, yeah. What's the stone thingy that they're all talking about? Is that like a MacGuffin or something like that?
Okay. I've also been slacking on because the last Mortal Kombat that I was really really into was Deadly Alliance, but the amulet was introduced in what was that Sub-Zero. There was a standalone Sub-Zero single player game, and I think it was introduced in that. They used it in MK9 to oh my god, I'm not honestly. Screw that. I don't know enough about that to get into much details with that.
Let's do the cliff notes. Cliff notes. We gotta do cliff notes.
So before the story trailer, what's his name? The NetherRealms were like that. We're gonna reveal 5 characters, right?
Yeah.
So then this trailer comes out, and like right in the trailer, they outright reveal oh my god, wow. Jacqueline Briggs. There we go.
There you go.
Jacqueline Briggs and 2 other characters. One who is he's a descendant of Kung Lao, and one who is a descendant of Kenshi, the blind dude from MK. Yeah, the blind dude from the old MKs. But then in the actual trailer itself, a bunch of characters are shown. Melina is shown. Rain is shown.
Rain, yes.
Yeah, Rain is in the trailer. Baraka is in the trailer.
Yeah.
What's her name again? Sindel's in the trailer.
Raiden's in the trailer. You gotta have Raiden. Yeah.
Who?
Raiden. Wait. The lightning guy. What's his name? We are clearly on point with our Mortal Kombat
no,
lore.
Okay. Oh, Shinnok is in the trailer as well.
Okay.
But here's the thing, though, is that not all of them are going to be playable, right? Only 5 are going to. Oh, and there's a comic book character, this really cool cowboy-looking character,
Okay,
Aaron Black. And yeah, it is Raiden. You threw me off because you said Raiden. It threw me off. But there's this character from the comic book called Aaron Black.
Okay.
He's like a cowboy. He's got a big cowboy hat, and he looks really cool. He's in the trailer as well. So people are speculating that the 5 characters are gonna be the 3 that were actually confirmed playable. Melina, because it looks like she's gonna be a big part of the story.
Yeah.
And Aaron Black, because he's awesome.
Yeah. That's all you need. Fawaz, Aaron Black, because he's awesome.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, just a quick overview of the story itself is that there's like a war going on between Melina and Kotal Khan over Outworld, right?
Yeah.
And Kotal Khan in the comic books, he goes and he asks Sonya Blade for some help. So I'm not sure if Cassie Cage is going to is going to carry on with helping him in the actual game. But the story looks really interesting. It looks really cool. It's because most fighting games have shitty stories, so it actually looks good. It looks good. I'm excited. Oh, and then in the trailer, just real quick, I'm geeking out here.
Yeah.
You see Scorpion, but you see him when he was still a human being. So
that's always I find really weird is that when you see like is that Scorpion before he looked super cool. Okay.
Yeah, back when he still had flesh on his skull.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was also pretty cool.
Yeah.
But another thing that they did, they had a little stream where first of all they went through Cassie Cage and they broke her down. They showed her different variations. We're not gonna get into that because that's in-depth shit. No one cares about that. They did reveal brutalities. They revealed brutalities. Have you checked it out?
I've checked out most of them. I haven't seen all of them, but I don't know. Like some of them, I felt a little bit underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your
thoughts? Here's the thing about brutality. They're switching it up for this game, right? Because in the old games, brutalities were like were really long combos that you did at the end of a match, and you blew your opponent up, right?
Yeah.
In this game, the way the brutalities work is that they're just enhanced versions. Like first of all, you have to end the round in a specific way to get a specific brutality. For example, with Kung Lao, he has one. He has his regular throw where he bends them over his knee and punches the shit out of them.
Yeah.
If you do certain stuff in the round and then you end the round with that throw, he starts doing the regular throw and then it switches up to his brutality where he just keeps smashing their face in.
Yeah.
He chucks their body away. So that's how it is. And what I like about it is that fatalities are very cinematic, right?
Yes.
But I mean, this is a fighting game. Like the average, like you're gonna play a lot of matches. You're probably gonna play a lot of matches, and I don't think you want to. You don't want to end every round.
Yeah.
With fatality because it'll get old fast.
Yeah, because it's basically you're just like, okay, so first he's gonna throw me into the air, and then he's gonna spin me around, and he's gonna smash me into the wall, and it's like, okay, I lost. All right, can we move on?
Yeah. Fatalities are actually banned in tournaments because they take so long.
That seems kind of... I can understand that, but it's also kind of like... I feel like one of the main points of playing Mortal Kombat is for the fatalities, so...
This is true. But I mean, the tournaments take long enough as it is.
Yeah, no, I understand it, though. Like, logistically, it's like if everyone did fatalities, it would just be nuts.
Yeah, but now with brutalities, you have something, a little flashy that you can end the round with, but it's also over really quick because the old fatalities, like MK2 fatalities, they were pretty quick, like Sub-Zero just comes up to you, pulls your head out, and, pulls out your spine.
Yeah.
Liu Kang turns into a dragon, bites off the top half of your head. They were pretty fast.
Yeah.
But now, with better graphics and all of that, they made them more cinematic, so the brutalities feel more like old school fatalities. I liked it. I actually really liked it. And there's over 100 apparently in the game.
Okay. So that's a lot.
Yeah. And one last thing that this was something that people were asking about the factions, right?
Okay, yeah, back to factions.
So yeah, you can leave your faction. Like, you pick your faction when you first start.
Okay.
And then, if midway through you're like, I don't really, not really feeling this, you can leave the faction at any time, but you lose everything you unlocked for that faction. So yeah, any fatalities you unlocked, any costumes, any skins, any backgrounds, any of that stuff, you lose all of it. But yeah, you can restart whenever you feel like. Yeah.
I actually like that because that might be a good way of like people want to try out different factions and kind of get a feel for them, so that you can kind of choose. Okay, I really like this one. I'm gonna stick with it or something like that.
Yeah,
or maybe, sure. or especially if it's like you've picked a faction and you've been in so long, then you're just like, oh, I just want to quit and start over. Then yeah, that seems like a proper way to do it. So I'm glad that they're doing it that way.
Yeah. They even hinted, but this is just a hint. They even hinted that there might be a reward for someone who maxes out every single faction. Who joins a faction, maxes it out, restarts, joins another faction, completely maxes out, and that unlocks everything. They hinted that there might be a reward, but they might have just been trolling us.
Yeah, because like golden skin, like freaking Johnny Cage just enters the arena or something like that. That would be pretty awesome. But anyway, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you leave a comment in the comment section, we'll answer it in the next podcast. And as always, this was William Liberty and
Fawaz Muhammad Yusuf.
And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.